Welcome to the virtual towers of Binary Arcadia, where the games go on long into the night. Greetings, BArcadians, and welcome to another vlog video, really. A bit of a progress update for the channel, this one. Rich and I have done a few of these since we launched the channel. What was it, Rich? Just over a year ago now?
Yeah.
So we wanted to just kind of touch base with our existing subscribers and give a bit of transparency, really, a bit of an idea as to what our journey looks like as a YouTube channel, fledgling YouTube channel, very small one at that, and just tell you a little bit about some of our challenges, our concerns, what we're grateful for though as well, and perhaps cast some light on, you know, upcoming content and future plans. So Rich, you know, should we throw over, just as a bit of an open discussion, what would you like to kick off with, my friend?
Yeah, I guess there's a lot to go through, really. But you know, the first thing we'd just like to say is a big thank you to everyone who's subscribed to the channel, who sticks with us, maybe gets involved in the comments, drops us a like, maybe watches some of the streams that you guys maybe have seen us doing recently. You know, we really thank everyone who's supported the channel over the past sort of year. I think it might be maybe 13 months or so now. But you know, we really appreciate everything that all the subs have done, and those that have stuck around. You know, we appreciate that you keep with us as a channel. Some of you may have noticed that, you know, of late we have lost a few subscribers, and for whatever reason, that's a shame. It might be that our content has changed a little bit. You know, we got a lot of subscribers through the Barcade project we were doing, which has sort of hit its not a stumbling block, but it's sort of slowed up a bit at the moment, due to, we'll come on to in a minute. And obviously we did a lot of Death Stranding stuff, and Death Stranding's obviously come out and sort of been less popular now. So there could be lots of different reasons why we've lost some subscribers, and you know, do we just thank the people who are sticking with us?
Yeah, I think that's an important thing to say. Thank you to everybody who's sticking with us, and please do continue to stick with us. But importantly as well, if you are perhaps feeling a bit unsure about, you know, your continued subscription to the channel, give us a shout, drop us a comment and let us know, you know, what you want to see more of, what's kind of changed and why you're feeling apprehensive. Because without that feedback, we're just not going to know what we can do to kind of make some changes. We try and be super responsive to comments and feedback and suggestions for content. And we put some Resident Evil content together prior to the release of the Resident Evil 3 remake, which I think it's found a small audience of people who have been interested, but it's certainly not hit the mark like Death Stranding did. And I think that's one thing we can kind of move on to, Rich, the YouTube algorithm itself, and how for any aspiring YouTubers amongst the BArcadians, you know, try and give a bit of insight into.
Yeah, so it's fairly obvious that the bigger channel you are, the more of a voice you have, I guess. So the more subscribers you have, the more likes you're getting on videos, the more that feeds into the YouTube algorithms. And you could argue quite rightly so, but that means smaller channels like ours, who are trying to find our voice, are struggling to get to the top of search lists. So, you know, people maybe not be stumbling across videos quite like they are on the bigger channels, and that obviously feeds into the fact that, you know, through the analytics that we see, you know, people aren't seeing our thumbnails. You know, it's quite clear that, you know, most of our videos get, you know, 200, 300, 400 thumbnail shows, and that could be most of the people who are subscribed on the channel. So it's very difficult to feed into those algorithms, and probably one of our most successful videos to date, Tabs, if you want to talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, it's quite a strange one, really. I mean, just to build off of that, Rich, I mean, for, you know, all the BArcadians out there and anybody watching, there are many different ways you can try and, you know, get your videos out there. That could be hashtags on YouTube videos, tagging it appropriately, which is actually separate from hashtags in the description. There's advertising via social media. Something we've tried, which is to reach out to kind of enthusiast groups on Facebook as well, when we're covering off certain content, which is in itself a bit of a minefield. But yeah, certainly, as Rich points out, if you don't have that exposure, it's just very difficult to break through, because it's essentially all going to be word of mouth and, you know, people sharing with their friends. You know, you have to hit on such a niche idea to get up in those search lists on YouTube that it's very difficult to think of, because there's so much coverage, especially to do with games generally. You know, all the big boys out there are covering it anyway, and they pop up at the front. So you have to come up with niche ideas, which factors into this Alienware. It was essentially a RAM and SSD install video, which I did just off the cuff. We talked about it, Rich, haven't we? Just as a bit of a how-to video, just to kind of journal my progress with it, because it's not really my bag, PC mods or laptop mods. So I thought it might just be something that would be cool, a little bit different. And it's been the biggest, the most successful video we've had, strangely enough, hasn't it, Rich?
And still seems to be week on week the most views we have on videos. I mean, interestingly, it was literally, the video was, Tabs was going to do it anyway, and we had a discussion and decided, well, actually we may as well film it and put it on the channel anyway. You know, why not? And yes, still, you know, week on week, it's our most successful video in terms of views. So that's, you know, that's sort of explains, you know, how the algorithms can be so strange. You know, if it feeds into an area maybe where there's not that much coverage, then you can be quite high up on the search list. But actually, if it feeds into a flooded market, which gaming is, there's loads of gaming channels out there. Some are amazing. We just struggle to get that exposure that we need.
And that's a nice segue, Rich, because, you know, certainly on the success of the Alienware video, well, we could have said, hang on, let's pivot the channel then into becoming some sort of dedicated Alienware or, you know, tech channel. But it just it wouldn't be genuine to us or authentic to where we're coming from, would it? And that's another thing about the channel, that we're trying our best to respect what's authentic to us, to follow our passions, which, you know, by product of, I think would give the best impression of the content we create, because it's coming from the heart and we're not doing it for clicks or for likes or for trends.
Well, absolutely, it would be amazing to have a YouTube channel that had a huge community of people, or a few thousand community of people that were all like-minded. They got involved in comments, and, you know, we had lots of subscribers. But, you know, ultimately that would be amazing. But, you know, even if it ends up as a small channel, we love making the content, and we think we stand by the content that we make. That, you know, we believe in the content that we make, and we love making it together. You know, it's a project. We love the creativity of it. We just like doing what we're doing. So, you know, we'll continue, you know, trying to do what we like to do. And if that means that it doesn't feed quite into the algorithms as it needs to progress the channel, you know, in a way that maybe speeds things up or whatever, then so be it.
And I think, you know, we can just cover off briefly, Rich. We've been delving into streaming, haven't we? Just because, you know, it is a potential way to try and expose the channel a bit more. It's also nice to just share our playthroughs, because we love doing that together, don't we? We love playing games together. And in this strange situation we're in with COVID-19, the coronavirus, I hope everybody's staying safe out there, doing the best they can to support, you know, the nation that you live in. It's been a nice way to actually play games together and hopefully share some with you guys, the BArcadians out there. I mean, stick with us, because we've had some quality control issues, haven't we, Rich?
Yeah, I mean, the one thing I'll say is, you know, we started the channel on the back of our love of gaming, and one of the things that you've not really seen up until this point on the channel was us gaming. So it's really nice for us to show you, you know, us gaming, you know, be it me on Gran Turismo, God of War, Tabs on Resident Evil. You might have seen the recent playthrough that Tabs did, and there's another one upcoming on that. And it's cool that we can, you know, me and Tabs have more time on our hands to be able to play more games, and, you know, that means we can share it with you guys. But yeah, there has been some issues with quality. It's hard to, it's easy to stream PC games, because obviously it's already on your PC, but it's more difficult to stream console gaming without a capture card, and we don't currently have a capture card. So
I was going to say that's the main thing, isn't it, Rich? Professional streamers have these capture cards, which are kind of your one-stop shop for streaming to multiple platforms from multiple platforms, and we don't have that because it's quite an investment, at least at this stage on a channel when we've already put money in and we're not making any. So for us, we're trying to find workarounds. Certainly for the PS4 streaming, we've got a program, OBS Studio, that we're trying to get our head around for streaming from the PC, which seems to be yielding some success. And even in the future, we're hoping to actually perhaps set up the BA News Show as a live concurrent feed from where we're our individual houses, just so we can avoid having to edit, which puts more time and pressure onto us, and can be a little bit draining, can't it, Rich, in terms of managing that with a full-time job and whatnot.
Absolutely, and while we're on BA News, lots of you, I think the last vlog post we did was about the fact that we were going to start the BA News Show, because we hoped that would be, every week would be a very current item that was feed into the news, so people who were looking for, say, PS5 news would see the BA News Show. Well, I would say that's not got the exposure that we were hoping it would, albeit we really like making the BA News Shows every week, so we are going to continue with that, but the hope that it would bring more people to the channel on a weekly basis doesn't seem to have come to fruition, unfortunately.
Which again is probably, as you pointed out earlier, Rich, it's a flooded market, isn't it? Gaming news, that every man and his dog out there is having a crack at it, and it's good, but at the same time it just makes it very difficult to pierce through. But I think we love to talk about gaming stuff, don't we? And
absolutely,
that format gives you a chance to really express opinions across the whole range of the industry. So I think we'll continue to do it. We'd like to try and streamline it, as I've said, to make it easier for us to then give us spare time and energy to focus on featured content. And I think there was a hope, wasn't there, at one point? We love doing gaming workouts. I think they're a big favourite of mine, and we were hoping that could become a really, a key format and signature of the channel. Again, though, for whatever reason, that they're not kind of finding a home necessarily. So for us, it's just about, keeping these plates spinning that mean something to us, that we enjoy, and just staying true to the channel. But that being said, I think we're always open, aren't we, Rich, to feedback from subscribers.
Absolutely. I mean, if people have got some ideas they'd like to see us try and bring into life on the channel, then that would be amazing. Things that people want to see. We often used to say on the channel that feedback is always welcome. So if you have any feedback for us, things we're doing well, things we're doing maybe not so well, I'm sure there's lots of them, then tell us what you think. And actually, just moving more forward, so updating you on sort of other things. So the Barcade, many of you will have seen that we've made the Barcade, and that the actual physical Barcade is made, but it isn't finished product because we still haven't made the RetroPie work. Tabs, I know you wanted to say a little bit about that and what you've got planned.
Yeah, so essentially we were going to try and hold out, or you were building the carcass, Rich, or the chassis, and we were hoping that perhaps the RetroPie software compatible with Pi 4 will be ready in time. It's still not, obviously, and we understand, it's kind of a community project with people who work full-time themselves trying to dip in and out and bring that to fruition, so we understand why it's not there yet. But I think we were at this point, because again we've had a lot going on, personal lives, work lives, current global crises and situations, but we're now, I think, at a point where what we're looking to do is actually, there's a way you can install RetroPie onto a Pi 4, which is kind of unofficial. It's like a manual install essentially. And while it probably won't be optimized and give us the scope we were looking for in terms of getting things like the Dreamcast games running on there, really nicely, I think for now it's going to be a workaround where we can actually present you guys with something as a finished product to kind of demonstrate all the features on it, show Rich playing some games, and just give some sort of closure to that particular series of videos we've done. So I'm currently looking at that, and hopefully over the next few weeks we'll start to, I don't know quite how we're going to do it, Rich, because I'm going to have to sort the software out, aren't I, and then drop it off to you, maintaining social distancing, have the anti-vax ready to wipe it all down, and then install it in the chassis.
Yeah, I mean, it might be that we come out of lockdown by the time
It may be.
We'll have to see on that one. You know, at the moment it's up in the air, isn't it? So definitely we'll try and, you know, finish the Barcade product, because ultimately we want to use that to make some content, don't we, Tab? So
yeah, exactly. We wanted to do the kind of versus mode, didn't we, and have some challenges together on that. So yeah, hopefully you'll see something in the next few weeks or so, Barcadians. And again, thank you for sticking with us. And then in terms of upcoming projects, Rich, do you want to kind of give a bit of
insight? I've been working on a cooking, gaming cooking, or baking, I guess I should say, video. I did a first take, and I didn't go quite as well as I wanted it to. So I'm probably going to do a second take on that. So definitely look out for that. We're planning a Resident Evil workout, although we haven't hashed out the details of that at the moment, so look out for that in the coming weeks and stuff.
Suggestions on a postcard as well. We're open to comments there.
And I think it's probably my turn to be the
victim,
to be the workouter. Yes. Yeah. And then we have actually attempted a speed run, or a speedy run, I guess I should say, of Resident Evil 3 remake on normal mode.
Basically an S-rank run is what we were trying to achieve on it, which equates to a sort of very amateurish speed run, doesn't it, Rich?
Yeah, exactly. So look out for that. That'll be a two-parter. So look out for that. That hopefully we'll get that dropped in the next couple of weeks or so.
We've also got a parody song, haven't we, Rich, that we've put some work into. Whether you ever see it or it sees the light of day, we're not making any guarantees at this stage, but it's been fun, and we just need to basically put some sort of a video together to accompany it at this stage.
Yeah, and obviously our terrible singing.
Yeah.
So we apologise for that in advance.
I think that's mostly it, isn't it, for now? You know, we're obviously looking forward to games coming up. And it's just in terms of, I don't know, it's waiting for more information, and perhaps, you know, waiting for our own muse, isn't it, Rich? That passion to strike us where we want to make a video. There's so many ideas that are constantly buzzing through our heads, but we're limited by time and resource in terms of what we can get out the door, and, you know, editing alone can take up a lot of time. So again, anybody out there who's really got something you'd love to see us do that would suit the channel well, please let us know. Can't promise we can live up to it and deliver it, but, you know, we can certainly give it a good go. So let us know, Barcadians.
And I guess we'd just like to finish by saying, you know, we're loving what we're doing on the channel. There's lots to come in the future. If you can stick with us because you're enjoying some of the content we're putting, then do stick with us. And yeah, we thank everyone again for sticking with the channel, and for your likes and subscribes and watch time.
Well, this is it, you know, all this really does help, Barcadians. I know it may seem silly, but even if there's a particular piece of content that you're not that fussed about, we still appreciate if you can drop us a quick like, even a comment to let us know what you thought of it or what you'd like to see differently. It all makes a big difference to the algorithm. And if there's a friend that you think might be interested in a particular piece of content, share it out there. Get it on your Facebook, you know, get it on your Instagram, whatever. Anything you guys can do to just help us with that exposure, because at this stage, until we break through the algorithm, it's all kind of driven by that word of mouth and interest. Then yeah, we really do appreciate, and we know a lot of you guys really do try hard to continue to support the channel, so thanks again. So
sounds good, mate.
I think that's about it then, is it, Rich?
Yeah, that's it.
Maybe another vlog in 6 months to a year, depending on how we're going. And we'll see you guys in the next video and in the comments section. So that's it, Rich. Another one for the archives.
Absolutely. Stamped and completed.